Almost 8 years ago, I posted these pictures of a new project. That project never happened. I couldn't make it at that time because I didn't know enough, but I haven't stopped thinking about it. But in this video, I want to finally build it, teach you how I made it, I'll drop lessons I learned along the way, I'll let other people use it, and much, much more. So my goal is to make this, an 8-note step sequencer. I need to make it small but also include all of these items, which is difficult considering all the traces needed to be drawn, not overlapping on a one-surface PCB. I first need to upgrade my tools. I have no affiliation at all in this video. I just searched online for what's best for me, and I bought these tools because I need it and I want it for this project. And I'll show you how it works and I'll tell you my thoughts. I need to make a circuit board, so I upgraded to the Cubiko CNC machine I saw on Kickstarter. And I 3D printed my own design holder. I loaded up my first test file, but I needed to make the machine run without the lid for my vacuum. So this is my first test on a piece of wood just to make sure it works. And yeah, I should have used a V-tip for a steadier line, but hey, it works, so I'm moving on to my main course, a single-sided blank copper-clad PCB board. The most common boards are FR4 fiberglass, but I heard FR1 boards cut cleaner, so that's what I'll be using. I always start an electronic project by first testing my circuit on a breadboard. But this technique is new. Check this out. I created everything inside one program. I used 3D software to design the circuit, arrange the components, model the housing to export to my 3D printer, and export the circuit to the CNC machine. This new technique was extremely helpful. It's so nice to see everything in one file. The CNC machine can drill the holes, carve the traces, and cut out the board. In just minutes, I have a board ready to solder components. And I've also upgraded my storage for better organization. And I used just a little bit of heat to remove the webs on the 3D print. And it's hard to put into words how nice it is to have a complete 3D file of everything so I know it fits together without any collisions. And it cuts down on having to reprint. This test circuit is one of the first things I ever learned. It plays different pitches depending on the light intensity. And yeah, this test is a little annoying, but it proves that my process and pipeline works. And I was ready to go to design my project, but then I was deeply inspired by Steven and Andre, who taught me the advantages to laser engrave a circuit board. I was worried about the cost, and yeah, they have come down in price, but they're still expensive. But I found a discount code to save $200, and hey, you only live once, so I got one. This is the G2 30-watt fiber laser. I was super excited to set it up, dial in focus, and burn my first test print using the strongest protective glasses I could find. But what I saw shocked me. No burning, nothing. I thought I was sent a broken machine. And their support team suggested I mail it back to them. This really killed my motivation for this project. But hey, I'm a handy person, so let me at least pop the hood and pretend to look around. And wouldn't you know it, I spotted the problem. It was a loose cable, and just like that, boom baby, we're back in business burning. And I made some more upgrades like this heatsink. So the idea is that it will stay securely in place and will always have the perfect alignment. And I can reroute my vacuum hose to help limit the burned smoke, which helps keep the lens clean too. And a weird problem I ran into was dimension inaccuracies. This line should be 80 millimeters, and this board is clearly warped. So what's going on is the laser is a single dot and requires exact value distortions to draw correctly. And those values were provided on the USB with this machine. And don't be like me and forget to flip the layout horizontally so the components are on the correct side. I was impressed that the laser could sweep away the debris, but I still purchased a blower to help clean the surface myself. And finding the right settings was painful, heartbreaking, and way more difficult than I thought. It's a delicate balance between power, speed, frequency, and passes. But once you find the right settings, then you've got it forever. I am finally ready to design my 8-note sequencer, and my laser technique is super simple with my 3D software. I render out the traces, convert that to a vector in Inkscape, I export the drills, outlines, pads, and silk screens as a single SVG, and Lightburn will automatically separate them based on the different wire colors I set them to. So that's it, 2 exports from my 3D software, then I load in my laser settings and I'm ready to burn this board. The 3D print was very helpful to see how it fit in my hands, to check the spacing, so I recommend printing the housing first. And I was cleaning the boards myself before and after burning, which was time consuming, until I realized a laser set to a high frequency can be used to clean metal. And it was very effective. And I'm glad I double checked the traces are cut, because what I didn't realize is that the burned carbon can be conductive. So sanding the carbon off the edges fixed this isolated problem. Okay, finally I feel prepared to burn my final board. So the laser cleaned the board, it burned the holes, it carved the traces, it cut out the outline, and it cleaned the top surface. So the board needs to be protected from short circuits and oxidation. The correct way is to use the UV solder mask ink. This was much more challenging than I thought. The UV curing is very sensitive to time and distance. It was nice to know that I wasn't alone. I found several other videos of people struggling to get this perfect balance right. So I switched to something simpler. Spray paint. So to keep the board aligned, I found this thick metal ruler. So I know the exact X and Y position, which solves my issue of it being misaligned for the silk screen and the pad removal. So the larger the board, the bigger the slightest offset can add up to. But I now have perfect alignment. And yes, spray paint is not recommended since certain paints can be slightly conductive and paints can also scrape off, but luckily my traces are the only pass conductive and not this paint. At this point I just hold my breath as I solder the parts together and I hope I haven't made any mistakes. I thought this speaker was too weak, but it is amplified by the 3D print. So far so good, everything appears to be working. And I can make changes to the code since the USB is still accessible. And the built-in speaker is good, but not all speakers are the same, so this external speaker plugs into the headphone jack for better bass notes. And I don't want my projects to only be used by me, so I took it to work to show one of my coworkers. Yeah, give me a good beat.
Try to... Oh, so this is tempo. And then this is...
pitch, so that'll take it higher, 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 and then go to the lowest.
It has like a swing to it too.
Ooh.
This is cool.
Success! Someone else out there likes what I made. I love the headphone jack so you can use earbuds in case you're somewhere like an airplane where you don't want to bother the people around you. Or I can upgrade the speaker to an even larger speaker. But hey, that gives me an idea. What if I can export this to my electronic guitar amp? Which is a much better speaker with built-in effects like gain, reverb, EQ, and delay. And it really does help. Here's a guitar clean versus effects. But what's it gonna do to my sequencer? That's a win in my book, and it also seems capable of creating vintage video game sound effects. And I want to get your opinion on a few different looks and styles. So comment which is your favorite between this maybe chrome front or this real wood filament that is wood stained, or transparent red PETG filament. So comment your personal favorite, A, B, C, or D, or what other options that you might want to see. This project has been a real journey and a load off my back to finally finish. This took years of hard work, learning through failing to get here. I ran into a plethora of problems, a myriad of mayhem, a choir of chaos, but I leveled up. It made me stronger, it made me better. So both the Cubiko CNC and G2 fiber laser engraver are a great addition to my tools, and I'll be thinking of ways to combine their advantages into more projects. And now I've got my project completed. I'm grateful you could see it. Maybe you learned something, maybe you got inspired. Either way, thanks for watching. Let's hang out again sometime, and see you next time.